Alright YouTube, we got another video for you. This is one that I've wanted to get for a while and I couldn't find it, and when I did find it, it was a couple $100 still. So for a hardback that really didn't come out that long ago, I haven't really looked into why this one is so expensive, aside from some really good content. I'm not sure if there was a lesser number made compared to other titles from Three Hands Press, but I went ahead and got it and just finished reading it last night. It took me about a week or so, and I wanted to share my impressions, and yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. So if anybody's familiar with Three Hands Press, it does have this these nice glossy dust jackets. They're not super high quality, but they do look nice on the shelf, and if you take them off and set them somewhere while you're reading, then you'll be able to keep the overall look and quality to them. Now these weren't sealed or anything when I got them, so it did have a few marks on it, but usually the only place I've seen this is eBay, and it's $400 or $500, so I was more than happy to pay the price. So going through the book here, I mean, it opens up with some nice artwork. Hands of Apostasy, Essays on Traditional Witchcraft, Michael Howard and Daniel Schulk. If that doesn't get your attention right away, I don't know what will. And Three Hands Press, 2014. I mean, obviously it is an older book, so that does factor into it. Perhaps some of the other books, like The Luminous Stone or Rose Veiled in Black, will go up in price here shortly. The Magic of History, Some Considerations, Andrew Chumley, another huge name, taken way too soon. A Family Craft, Killing the Moon, Pinnacles of Wood, Moonraking in the Old Craft, The Cauldron of Pure Descent, Spirits in Deific Forms, Waking the Dead, that was one of my favorites, Art of Necromancy. Witching Hour, The Man in Black was also really good if you're familiar with the Jim McGarry and Troy books, and specifically the Devil's Dozen. There's a lot of stuff that's familiar. This is a much more expanded version than the ritual mentioned in the Devil's Dozen, but a very good read, a lot more inclusive as far as additional material. Origins and Rationales by Andrew Chumley is another really good book, or essay rather. Really goes into kind of detecting, for lack of a better term, who is more of an actual practitioner and who is more of a charlatan in this day and age, going back to older cults and covens. Mirrors, Moons, and Tides, Traditional Witchcraft. Unchain the Devil was also really good, goes into the lore around blacksmiths and anvils and forging and fire. Tubal Cain and things like that. I don't specifically remember him being mentioned, but the essence is certainly there. Where Three Roads Meet, another really good book. Plant People of Old Europe. Pharmacute was an interesting herbal witch type essay. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Look through some of it. You can see it's pretty traditional as far as the text and the presentation, the typeface, and everything else presented in the book. There are nice black and white art pieces throughout the book, and a lot of the essays are a comfortable length. There's a few that are really short in the beginning. There's a couple that are extremely long, but the subject matter is, again, all on traditional witchcraft, but it's just varied enough that there's not really a lot of repeat, which is kind of rare in a book that's pretty good size that also doesn't, or rather, that does come from different authors. So, Cauldron of Pure Descent goes into the lore and use of cauldrons. Really a lot of the esoteric meanings, the opening of the cauldron, the belly of the cauldron, the water that's used for the alchemy, the transmutation of the ingredients. Let's kind of flip through here, see what else. As you can see, the Cauldron of Descent was a pretty long chapter. It's probably one of the longer ones in this book. Spirits and deific forms. Again, Waking the Dead, the ancient magical art of necromancy, Michael Howard, was one of my favorites. It also goes into a lot of the different cultures and their view of necromancy or speaking to the dead. It also goes into the, if you're familiar with the Bible, it goes into the instance of the Witch of Endor. And references to demonology. So, very good chapter. The Witching Hour really talks about, well, obviously the witching hour, the time after midnight, but it's more so focused on the time and understanding of time, not so much the things that happened during that window. So it was a little bit different than I was expecting, but still a good read. The Man in Black, talking about the devil and his references in the Old Craft, some of his other names. Again, one of the longer chapters, but it was very well written and it held my attention. Mirror, Moon, and Tides was another good one. It talks about the use of lunar, solar, and dark mirrors. Then you have some additional text, traditional witchcraft, references, Unchain the Devil, which I spoke about earlier, Where Three Roads Meet, Sabbatic Craft. And there's also a chapter here about conjurations, charms, the blasphemy of things unseen. Pretty much rounds out the text. So, again, I really enjoyed it. I have Children of Cain that I need to do a video on. I haven't done that one yet. I've also got the Luminous Stone, and yesterday I just got A Rose Veiled in Black, which is about Babylon. So you're probably going to see a lot of Three Hands Press books coming out in the next couple weeks. But if you've read this before, or if you have questions about it, as always, please feel free to leave them below. And thanks for watching.